in Seoul. I don't think I've ever seen it this quiet. They have this thermal imaging camera so that anybody who walks into this building, they can check whether or not they have a fever.
They feel like their mental health is taking a hit.
You do get the sense that what people are most afraid of is just how little about this virus is actually known.
This is the scene in South Korea, where over the past week we have seen a massive spike in the number of coronavirus cases here. Now, this is Gyeongbokgung Palace. This is one of the top tourist spots in Seoul. I don't think I've ever seen it this quiet. It is a beautiful day. It is clear. This is normally absolutely packed. This is where they have the changing of the guard. It is the top tourist spot for people coming to Seoul. But this is what we are seeing across the city and really across the country. People aren't going out to restaurants. People don't want to go shopping. Local businesses are suffering. And now, of course, the US State Department has said that they're raising their alert level to level 3 for South Korea, suggesting people don't travel here. It's only expected to get quieter. Now, when it comes to offices, the government is recommending that if you can work from home, you should work from home, but it's not mandatory at this point. But what is mandatory is when you come into this building, this is our building, you put your mask on, you make sure you're washing your hands, and if you have to cough or sneeze, you make sure you do it into your arm or elbow. And something that's new, just in the past couple of days, they have this thermal imaging camera so that anybody who walks into this building, they can check whether or not they have a fever.
I'm in the heart of Tokyo 2020, as you can see, the iconic Olympic rings in Japan's new national stadium, where in less than 5 months from right now, the opening ceremonies of the 2020 Olympics will be held. That, of course, is all up in the air at this point due to the fear of the coronavirus. Now, at this point, organizers here on the ground say that the idea that this event could be canceled, postponed, or relocated is just speculation, but IOC board member Dick Pound just recently came out and said that that is something that is being considered given the fact that the coronavirus is expanding globally, infecting tens of thousands of people around the world. They're focused on the next 1 to 3 weeks, saying it's that time frame which is critical to preventing the further spread of the coronavirus here in Japan.
I'm in Istanbul, and this is one of the main pedestrian thoroughfares for tourists and locals alike. And people who you talk to here believe it is just a matter of time before the coronavirus hits Turkey. We're already beginning to see a handful of people who are already wearing face masks, presumably as a precaution. But at the same time, it gives you an idea of just how tense the situation is throughout the entire region. Now, the epicenter of the outbreak is, as we know, Iran, and that is a country that is notoriously difficult to news gather from and get accurate information from. But the bits and pieces we're able to piece together paint a picture of a country that is very ill-equipped to deal with this kind of an outbreak. And the government there has taken the unprecedented step of canceling Friday prayers, and we're seeing measures being taken across the region. Saudi Arabia, for example, has suspended visas for pilgrims who want to visit Mecca and Medina for the Umrah. And there are also great concerns about the region's very vulnerable population, those who are living in refugee camps or are internally displaced in countries like Syria and Yemen, where containing an outbreak there would be extraordinarily difficult. And you do get the sense that what people are most afraid of is just how little about this virus is actually known.
This is the scene in central Milan. This is the tourist area where normally you would see hundreds and hundreds of people. Definitely lower numbers. And this sort of new reality brought on by coronavirus is, for many local inhabitants, something that's very depressing. But just about an hour's drive from here are some of the so-called red zones, where tens of thousands of people are not allowed to leave their towns and villages for fear of spreading coronavirus, because that's where there's been a concentration of victims.
Here in China, there are more than 78,000 confirmed cases of the coronavirus. But the focus for a lot of the officials here is not only about containing the virus and stopping the spread, it's also about rebooting the economy. And in what is China's financial hub, Shanghai has slowly started to come back to life. I mean, we were walking through some of the streets within the financial hub, and a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, silent. You only see a car pass through some of the normally jammed traffic circles once every 30 seconds or so. Little by little, it's coming back online. A return to a new normal, if you will. The reality is people don't step outside without their face masks. The only reason I'm allowed to skip out on mine is because we're not on the street right now. We're on a private terrace. But folks in the city of Wuhan, at the epicenter of all of this, they are dealing with a completely different reality. Many of them are sealed within their homes. They can't even go outside. They rely on delivery from government officials for their basic needs and necessities. And for some of them, while they may be saving their physical health, they feel like their mental health is taking a hit. It's getting to them, being inside for more than 30 days. Back here in Shanghai, you start to notice life is starting to resume a little bit. Even on the streets here, it kind of throws you off when you start to notice the traffic noise. But that is an indication of life trying to resume.
We're ready to adapt, and we're ready to do whatever we have to as the disease spreads, if it spreads.
The trajectory of what we're looking at over the weeks and months ahead is very uncertain. We do expect more cases, and this is a good time to